Linda Barcz from the Barcz Company is here today. We're taking your calls at 270-9933. Look at that beautiful bouquet. Hi, Linda.
Hi there, Susan.
And look, here's the piece de resistance. I don't know how you hauled this thing in because it's very heavy.
I've been working out with weights, yes.
How did you do this?
Well, I didn't create this. This is a great idea. If you don't want your kids to be decorating pumpkins with knives and using knives and things, isn't this a nice way you can just take gourds of various kinds, play with them and create noses and eyes out of them, and then some of them are on little pieces of wood that are stuck onto the pumpkin, and others they've used wire to get them in place. But isn't that cute?
It's very creative. I really like
and
that.
The nice thing about that is since you don't cut into the pumpkin, it lasts a lot longer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, very creative. And quickly, let's show the flowering kale behind the pumpkin.
Isn't that awesome? I thought I'd bring this up because I admired this out in front of our gardens, in front of the garden center, and this is a type of ornamental kale that, and I can't remember the cultivar name, but much taller, and it will tolerate frost and looks great for a long time.
Oh, that's such a beautiful fall display. Okay, let's go ahead and get to the phones.
Okay.
People are waiting to talk to you, and we'll start with Barb in Madison. Hi, Barb. What's your question?
Hi. I have a question for Linda in regard to a mandevilla plant that I survived, and I kept it over the winter.
Okay.
I talked to her last fall about it, and she said she had never tried it, but I had luck with it.
Good.
My question is, when I took it out last fall and took it in the house, I cut it back really a long ways back. And I kept it out all summer, babied it, fertilized it, watered it, and now it's just now starting to bloom. And the frost is coming. It's gorgeous, but really, my question is, when I took it out last year, did I cut it back too far that I heard it from blooming this late?
I think so, just because I would have expected with your fertilizing and the way you've been taking care of it that you should have had flowers earlier. And since it's just blooming now, and obviously you're going to bring it inside, I would enjoy some of those flowers. And then when because we're going to go to less and less sunlight, then cut it back, but not quite so harshly.
Okay. All right, it's a good lesson learned, Val.
Sure.
All right, thank you for your call today. Kathy in Middleton, you're next. Hi there.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Susan.
Hi.
Linda, I have a lot of beautiful fall mums this year, and how can I replant those to come up next year again?
Oh, good question. I want to know that myself.
Well, it sort of depends upon what kind of mums. They aren't all hardy. Some of them are described as hardy mums, and then those can be put out in the garden. Like this mum here, this is not going to be hardy. It's probably going to bloom too late in Wisconsin. So that one you don't bother with. But if you have one that's in a pot, and you see new growth coming at the base, that typically will be the type that's going to survive our winter. And if you can put it someplace on an eastern exposure, or maybe once the ground is frozen, cover it with a little bit of marsh hay or something, that will help to overwinter it.
And when you purchase a mum at Barcz Company or at a garden center, will it say that?
Yes.
It'll establish that it's a hardy mum right on the label?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Great. Good. Thank you for your call today. Larry, no, I'm sorry, let's see, Judy. Sorry, Judy, I didn't mean to skip over you. Judy in Middleton, go ahead, what's your question?
Hi, we've got a vegetable garden. We haven't had one in years, so this is our first time, and we have a big harvest of carrots, and we're wondering, we're just going to dig them out now. How do we keep them how do we store them so they'll stay fresh and sweet?
Yes, the best way, of course, nobody has root cellars anymore, but otherwise you put it in your root cellar. But you can put it in layers of sand. I've heard of people doing that and then keeping the sand a little bit moist. But cool is important. That's what's really critical. The other thing that you can do is leave some of those carrots in the ground, cover that with hay so that it doesn't freeze. See, it can work one of two ways. It's confusing. Have you putting hay on the mums after the ground's frozen. That's to prevent freezing and thawing. In the case of the carrots, you don't want it to thaw, so you put hay down, and then that area won't freeze as fast, and then you can come later in the season and dig those out.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
You actually can do that.
And it's great to still be getting things out of the garden this late. It's sort of fun. Thank you for calling today. Larry in Westfield. Hi there. What's your question? Larry, are you there?
Yes.
Hi, go ahead.
I usually prune my grapevines in early spring, and I'm not going to be able to do it this year. I'm wondering if I can do it within the next month or so before winter.
I hope we have a month.
It is recommended that you do it in spring. You've been doing it right. And you don't want to go too late because they do bleed. They lose a lot of sap. It doesn't really hurt the plant, but if you absolutely can't do it in spring, if we don't have a harsh winter, you should not have a problem. if we have a really cold winter, it's
Right.
typically that, spring is a little bit better to be doing it. But
Okay.
I think you can get away with doing it now also.
Okay. All right. Well, we're all out of time today. If you're on the line, stay on the line, and Linda will go in the newsroom and speak to you personally. Thanks for your calls today, everybody. Thanks, Linda. That was really
Susan.
great. We'll see you next week.
Okay.